Skill 11. How to build discipline without becoming a boring productivity robot. Yes, you can still watch Netflix and have a soul. You don't lack discipline. You just built your life like a haunted circus with no exits. Let's get one thing straight. You're not lazy. You're not weak. And you're definitely not doomed to a life of starting things and abandoning them like cursed side quests. You're just running a mental operating system that thinks long-term goals equals emotional torture. Because let's face it, your to-do list looks like it was written by a delusional cult leader. Your motivation shows up once a month like a divorced parent. Your self-discipline tied up in a basement somewhere behind all the snacks and self-loathing. And every time you try to get your life together, you end up buying a new planner, reorganizing your desk, and spiraling into a YouTube hole titled, How to Become a High-Functioning Squirrel. But here's the truth. Discipline is not about grinding. It's about design. And your current design looks like it was built by a raccoon with Wi-Fi access and no adult supervision. In this final skill, we're going to destroy the myth of willpower, rewire your habits with the laziness they deserve, and finally become that person who does the thing without needing a near-death crisis to get started. Let's kick off with tips 1 to 2, where we nuke your inner perfectionist and teach your brain to fall in love with tiny wins instead of tragic marathons. Let's go. Tip 1. You're not lazy. You're just running 27 apps in the background. If you've ever sat down to work and then stared at your screen for 45 minutes like a haunted potato, congrats. You're not broken. You're mentally multitasking yourself into paralysis. Your brain's got open tabs like, should I text them back? Do I even like my job? What if I never succeed and die alone? Did I leave the stove on in 2016? That's not laziness. That's cognitive overload. Want discipline? Close the tabs. Literally, figuratively, spiritually. Before you try to focus, give your brain one thing to chew on and make it chew slowly. Discipline starts with mental decluttering. Because you can't write your magnum opus while your brain's streaming 4 trauma channels and live tweeting your insecurities. Tip 2. Discipline is a system, not a vibe. Here's the biggest myth ever sold. I'll be productive when I feel motivated. Wrong. You'll be productive when the structure is idiot-proof enough that even your 3 a.m. gremlin self can't mess it up. Want to work out more? Don't think about it. I'll lay the clothes out. Set the playlist. Make it frictionless. Want to write more? Stop romanticizing the perfect setup. Just open the doc and type like you're possessed by a tired squirrel. Motivation is cute. Systems get stuff done. You don't need inspiration. You need defaults. And coffee, but mostly defaults. Tip 3. Your brain hates big goals, so feed it micro wins like a Tamagotchi. Here's how your brain reacts to a giant life goal. Write a book? You mean 80,000 words of self-doubt and grammar hell? Let's go take a nap. But tell your brain, just write one sentence. Literally. 1. Suddenly it's like, okay, I can do that. And maybe one more. And, oops, I wrote a paragraph. That's how behavioral momentum works. Discipline isn't about brute force. It's about lowering the friction so your lazy inner goblin slips into action without realizing it. Tiny wins equals dopamine. Dopamine equals motivation. Motivation equals you pretending you have your life together. Whether it's flossing one tooth or opening your laptop without vomiting. Start microscopic. And keep feeding your brain snacks of success. One tiny win a day equals discipline disguised as accidental progress. Tip 4. You don't need more motivation. You need fewer distractions that want to marry you. You know what kills discipline faster than burnout? Temptation. The sirens of modern life. TikTok, snacks, vibes, and that one app you swear you'll delete every Sunday. So here's a revolutionary idea. Design your environment to make the right thing easy and the wrong thing feel like effort. Wanna write? Block websites. Throw your phone in a drawer like it's cursed. Open your doc before your brain wakes up and starts arguing. Want to work out? Sleep in your gym clothes. Put your shoes next to the bed like they're judging you. Blast music that makes you feel like a movie montage. Your willpower is like a toddler with jet lag. It cannot babysit your distractions. So stop relying on motivation. Make success easier than failure. That's not cheating. That's strategy. Tip 5. Failure is not proof you suck. It's just data with bad vibes. You know the drill. You miss one workout, I'm trash. You skip a study session, why do I even try? You break a habit streak, existential crisis, and 3 hours of scrolling. Stop. That's not discipline talking. That's your inner drama queen performing Hamlet over a spilled smoothie. Let's reframe. Failure is feedback. Not an identity. Not a prophecy. Not a scarlet letter. Just data. You didn't fail your diet. You learned that pizza plus stress equals your Achilles heel. You didn't ruin the streak. You discovered that 9 p.m. is your personal productivity graveyard. Use the info. Adjust. Move on. Because real discipline is just learning faster than your inner critic can whine. Remember, every time you fall off the wagon and get back on without calling yourself garbage, you just leveled up your discipline stats. Like a boss. In pajamas. Tip 6. Make one decision that deletes 100 dumb ones. Every time you wake up and ask, should I work out today? Or, do I really need to finish that project? You're setting yourself up for disaster. Why? Because your willpower is not a loyal dog. It's a caffeinated squirrel with commitment issues. Discipline isn't about constant decision-making. It's about eliminating decisions altogether. Want to eat better? Meal prep the same boring but good food on Sunday like a low-effort health cultist. Want to write every day? Schedule the time and set an alarm. No thinking. No negotiating. Want to read more? Put the book where your phone usually lives. Hide your phone like it owes you money. One strong decision deletes 100 weak moments. Make your life so boringly structured that your gremlin brain has nothing to argue with. Boom. Discipline. Installed like malware. But the good kind. Tip 7. Never trust future you. That guy's a liar. You know who always promises they'll wake up at 6 a.m., eat kale, and finish that project? Future you. And you know what future you actually does? Snoozes 6 times. Orders waffles. Binge watches conspiracy documentaries while muttering, I'll start tomorrow. Here's the truth. Future you is a clown. Present you is the only one who does anything. So stop relying on motivation. Start relying on automation. Schedule things. Autolock apps. Pre-pack your bag. Literally write yourself an angry note that says, don't scroll. Work, you coward. Future you is unreliable. Build a system that forces present you to win without needing a miracle. Tip 8. Rest is not the opposite of discipline. It's the recharge button. Here's where most people nuke their progress. They think discipline means going full beast mode until they collapse like a dying Wi-Fi signal. Wrong. Rest is not a reward. It's maintenance. Like charging your phone before it dies mid-text. Here's how to not self-destruct. Plan your breaks before your burnout. Use guilt-free rest as a discipline enhancer, not an escape. Make your downtime actually restorative, not just doom scrolling in a blanket burrito. Productive people don't work more. They recover better. And burnout isn't a badge. It's just your body filing a formal complaint with HR. Your brain is HR. So stop grinding yourself into emotional sand. Work, then rest, then repeat, without drama. Tip 9. Make discipline boring on purpose, so you don't self-sabotage for fun. Here's a dirty secret no one tells you. A lot of us fail on purpose. Because success is boring, predictable, undramatic, and your brain craves novelty like a toddler with a sugar addiction. So what does it do? Creates chaos. Misses deadlines just to feel the panic rush. Procrastinates because working under pressure makes me better, aka emotional crack. Stop it. The real power move? Make your discipline routines so boring and predictable that your brain gives up trying to sabotage them. Like, same playlist, same time, same setup, 0 decisions. It's not sexy, it's not exciting, but it works. When your routine becomes background noise, you stop relying on willpower and start relying on rhythm. And rhythm, my friend, is the drumbeat of sustainable success. Tip 10. Do it anyway is the nuclear button for lazy days. You're not always going to feel like it. You're not always going to be inspired. And you will definitely have days where your body feels like a limp noodle and your brain is playing elevator music. Here's what you say to yourself. I don't feel like it, but I'll do it anyway. No drama. No TED Talk. Just do it anyway. Write the page. Send the email. Take the walk. Record the thing. That one sentence, do it anyway, is how you build trust with yourself. It's how you go from, I hope I stick with it, to, I know I show up, even when it sucks. And that, my friend, is discipline, not effort. Identity. The finale. You're not building a grind machine. You're building a trustworthy human. If you made it this far, congratulations. You now know that discipline isn't about being a flawless productivity monk. It's about becoming the kind of person your own brain can count on. You trick it. You trap it. You design your life so even your laziest self can't screw it up too badly. You lower the bar. And you shrink the task. You cut distractions. You rest before you collapse. And you whisper to yourself on the bad days. This sucks, but I do it anyway. Boom. Discipline achieved. Without shame. Without hustle cults. And yes, still with snacks, naps, and deeply questionable life choices on weekends. Backhand index pointing right. Subscribe if you want the next skill. How to not be a cringe factory in social situations, even if you overthink saying hi. It's awkward. It's real. It might save you from another shower monologue at 3 a.m.